All right, welcome into another film review of the Green Bay Packers. This time we're taking a look at their defense against the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, they had another multi-turnover game, so good for the takeaways. They come away with a win as well. But we need to take a look at both the positives and negatives of this game. And to be honest, I think it was probably more the Colts beating themselves than the Packers playing well enough to win the game. So let's take a look at this first play. It was just another awful game by Quay Walker, and we'll see that here on this first explosive run by Jonathan Taylor. So he does kind of read these guards that are pulling, and he's going to get caught up in the wash. He's going to over pursue. He sees the pull, and then he gets caught in traffic, and that creates a cutback lane, which Taylor is going to exploit. So if we go back to the wide angle, it's going to be a little bit easier to see. Gotta go all the way back to the start, and then we will highlight Quay Walker here. So you're going to see this flow of the offensive line. You've got the two pullers, and then you're going to have Taylor, which is essentially going to see that there is some overflow by these linebackers, and there's a cutback opportunity. So we're going to keep a close eye on number 7, and he's basically done here, right? We've already got someone maintaining this gap here, right? We've got McDuffie. So he really has to maintain this integrity. Enigbare tries to spin and seal it there, but that's not really going to be there because the spin's going to be a little bit too slow. It's got to go too far out. And Quay Walker has just kind of ran into the offensive line, gets pushed over. And again, just another explosive play. And I don't really like PFF grades that much. I mean, they do a good job. Generally, they're pretty professional. But Quay Walker had a 40.1, which was the lowest of any Packer this week. And it's pretty evident in his play that there's a reason that he is the lowest rated Packer at the moment for the defense. Next play is going to be an interception here that gets caused by pressure. Just a simple overthrow by Richardson. He gets some good pressure, and McKinney gets his second interception in as many weeks. It's just kind of lofted there, easy interception. But this is one thing that, I just talked about how Quay didn't play very well this game, but this is what he does well. If he blitzes, if he rushes the passer, he does well. All right, so he's going to get in here. He's going to get around the back. He's going to get his hands up. And it forces Richardson here to drift backwards. He's not really stepping into that throw, even though Richardson has a hell of an arm, right? This is just a flick of the wrist. And it gets overthrown, and McKinney is just there as that one high safety, able to pick it off and create a turnover for the Packers. So first one of the game. All right, up next, we have a big run by the Colts that luckily gets called back. Missed tackle there by Quay Walker. Able to get past the sticks for a first down. But this is just kind of a teaching moment for anyone who isn't aware what illegal formation is. But this receiver down here on this line cannot cover up someone else who is on the line of scrimmage. So if you look, he's on the line. He's on the line because they're both even with the center's hips. And they're normally supposed to check with this ref down here. I don't think I could see on the film if he really checked, but he is covering this tight end. So he's covering an eligible receiver, which makes this an illegal formation. So the Packers, they get lucky here. This big gain is just going to end up coming back due to a mental error by the Colts. And there were many, many mental errors by the Colts in this game. All right, next play, the Packers bring some pressure here. It's going to be a play action, and pressure gets there fast, and it's going to force another bad throw. This is Van Ness coming off the edge, but you can see Richardson, when he's about to get hit, kind of doesn't step into the throw, doesn't finish it. He's got to throw it before the receiver is turned around. And by the time he looks, it's already thrown well behind him. Donai Mitchell, the rookie, number 10 there, had a not so great game. Hopefully he can continue to grow, but it was kind of a rough game for him. But we're going to see, we got Quay Walker being sent on a blitz here. that play action is sliding the entire line protection to the right side of the Colts, and you've got a sifter, the tight end, that is he's supposed to sift across and take the edge, but there's just not enough time for him to make it across the formation and stop Van Ness. So it's an easy incompletion for the Packers. One of the things I'm not really a big fan of is this vision zone that has been played the past couple weeks. And here you're going to see against a scramble how ineffective a vision zone is. So they've got a few guys. Everyone has their eyes on the QB, right? And if everyone has their eyes on the QB, nobody has their eyes on the receivers, and they're just going to be standing wide open, right? Of course, the reason that they're probably playing this vision is because it's decent against the scramble, right? Because you can react as McDuffie does here. He runs up. He's able to rush a throw, but of course, because he vacated his zone, Gary, who doesn't play zone very often, doesn't have a deep enough drop, right? Nixon is kind of out of the play because he's got to make sure that he plays in between these two receivers. So it's just an easy completion when you scramble out against vision zone because your receivers are able to get open. And this happens multiple times throughout this game. All right. Another play of Quay Walker making a silly decision. I'm not sure why he does this. But again, another explosive run. We're not going to see it all the way through, but we're just going to see, again, we'll highlight the man himself, number 7 there, Quay Walker. He's going to be sucked in here. He is the only person that has this gap responsibility. He could meet Jonathan Taylor in the gap. What does he do instead? I'm going to make contact with the offensive lineman. Puts both hands on the offensive lineman. And attempts to make an arm tackle. And Taylor is upfield. I don't know what was going through his mind when he did this, but it's even more absurd when you watch it from this angle. So the slant, the shift on the inside doesn't really help against this run. But Quay Walker, if he just shoots beyond that offensive lineman, instead of putting his hands on him, he's able to make that tackle for, a 1-yard gain. But instead, they get a first down out of it. All right, next play, we are going to focus on Devonte Wyatt. He had a pretty solid game. I like the way that he's continuing to improve. I think this new defense is suiting him well, but he's able to get some nice leverage there and get a tackle for a loss right at the line of scrimmage. So he's essentially playing somewhere between a 3 and a 5 tech there. And he's able to somehow get past this double team. So he's able to leverage that, get outside this double team. The sifter isn't going to take him because that's not his responsibility. And he's able to get that tackle in the backfield. And here we have another play of the Packers getting bailed out. It's actually a really good route by Mitchell. And Nixon gets a little bit lost. But essentially, you've got man coverage. And Mitchell does a good job of getting vertical, right? He sells this as if this is, we're going to be a fade. And you can see McKinney's already sliding over to help, right? But this is kind of bread and butter in the NFL because you have so much speed. We're going to get to 12 yards. And we're going to break out. It's going to be a comeback. Ball is there. He just doesn't focus on the catch. He gets his eyes upfield. And it's a drop. Right, so Packers get away on 3rd down here. Nixon got burnt. Again, saw last week, quite inconsistent. But, he gets burnt here. And luckily, the Colts receiver drops it. All right, this play, we're going to focus on Wyatt again. And this is just going to be a stunt, right? So you're going to have the end that's coming in, tackle going out, right? And this is going to be on both sides. So you've got this ET or TE stunt. And it's just going to create enough pressure. There, it gets the outside leverage. Able to get that bend, which is quite rare for a defensive tackle. But He's able to get this bend around the left tackle and gets a sack. Swiping for the ball, doesn't quite get it, but of course, we'll take a sack any day of the week. All right, here we're going to focus on Luke Van Ness. And obviously, we're going to focus on Richardson here as well. I think he makes a bad read. And Van Ness is just a little bit lucky to make this play. So, of course, big tackle for loss on second down. But he is kind of the contained player. He's able to make this tackle. But if Richardson pulls this, it's going to be dangerous for the Packers. All right, let's get back to the wide angle view, because McKinney coming off the edge is getting blocked here by the receiver. So if he pulls this and he gets outside, he's got a block downfield here on Valentine. He's got to beat one guy. So Nixon has to try to take down Anthony Richardson, who is a freak athlete, has a ton of size. So that's going to be a tough play for him. But again, Richardson continues to make mistakes, and the Packers are going to thrive off of those. And speaking of Richardson mistakes, this is going to be another one. Colts could have had an easy first down here. But he's going to pump. He's going to panic. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw it short of the sticks. And we get a nice tackle there. But if we go back, where is this easy reception, easy first down? If we're just going to watch this underneath route, number 83 here, he's just going to be wide open. And right there, Richardson has his arm cocked. If he just throws this, hits him here, he's got to run 2 yards upfield. And with the momentum of being tackled, that's an easy first down. But instead, he's going to pump. I think he's probably looking more downfield here. He's looking at this break, and then he sees McKinney. But if he just checks it down, that's probably an easy first down. Because there's no way McKinney's momentum on this little spot route is going to be able to stop and then break down and make a tackle before that first down. Instead, rolls out, makes a completion, short of the sticks. Nice tackle there by Nixon. All right, we're going to focus on Wilson here. He gets taken out of this play early on. It's just going to be a simple screen play. So play action. He gets forced out there, but he doesn't give up on the play. All right, turns back, hustles back upfield. Boom, punches the ball out. Number 16 there, Doolin, makes a nice play, punches the ball out of bounds. But on eight snaps, Wilson had a 99.4 PFF grade out of 100. Only 8 snaps. He has this forced fumble, and then he has an interception a little bit later that we're going to look at. But it's unfortunate that we're not able to recover this. I think McKinney's helmet coming off has a little bit to do with that. McDuffie attempts to recover it, but overshoots it, and then gets a little bit lazy there, trying to recover it rather than just plopping his body on top. So, unfortunate we couldn't get a turnover, but good hustle by Wilson after he was blocked out of the play here by Quentin Nelson. Spins up, able to get the blind side of Taylor, forces that fumble. So, if anyone else is able to fall on that, that's a nice turnover for the Packers. All right, next play, we've got cover 3 sky. So we have a too high look, but cover 3 sky means you're going to have a rotation, and you're going to have the safety, which is going to be responsible for the curl to flat. So you're going to have a deep third here. You're going to have a deep third on the other side, a deep third here, and then responsible for the curl to flat. So around this area of the field, you've got Williams, who has to kind of fire down from that too high look. So they're trying to disguise this, right? And then you're going to have the other curl to flat on this side. But Williams is going to fire downhill because they're coming out of a too high look. They're trying to disguise it, and he runs too far downhill, and he's going to get beat because of it. All right, so you do a out route. Again, good route by Mitchell here. He wasn't catching everything, but he does a good job of selling this out. right? He gets his head and shoulders facing this direction, right? So Williams seems like it's going to be an out route, and then he's going to quickly turn up field, and it's going to be an easy completion because Williams has to change all of his momentum, turn up field, and run with this wheel, and a nice ball by Richardson there as well. So a nice job trying to disguise things, but I think Williams has to do a better job of not firing too far downhill, making contact there with the receiver. So he's pushing himself even further behind the receiver because of that contact. So the disguise is good, but Williams, I think, as a rookie, needs to learn to play that a little bit better. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to focus on Wilson here. So this is going to be an easy interception. And again, I just think it's bad quarterback play by Richardson. So it takes a drop there and just doesn't see him. I think he anticipated him coming to the flat, and then his receiver would be open right behind him. But again, Packers are kind of playing this vision zone. Look at the eyes. Right? All the eyes are on the quarterback. So that vision zone is going to pay off. Richardson anticipated him going to the flat. He doesn't go to the flat. He could have taken that underneath route to Mitchell, but instead throws it right to Wilson. One of those 8 snaps. Gets the pick. Had a forced fumble already. So just a great game in limited time for Eric Wilson. I'm going to highlight Wyatt again on this play. But he just had a pretty solid game overall. This is going to be a nice pass rush. Get up in, get a quick move, force a step up, force a bad throw, and just a short yard gain. Again, we'll watch it from this angle. Able to do a chop step, gets inside, forces that little bit of a rollout, and allows more time for the other rushers to get there. They're collapsing, forces a bad throw. Receiver can't get any run after catch, and down for a 2-yard gain. So well done by Wyatt there. All right, this time we are going to focus on Valentine. This is kind of the danger of going up against scrambling QBs, right? There's nothing there. Pump fakes, rolls out, gets outside contain, and he's just going to have an open target because Valentine gets put in a washing machine, right? So this is just good route running on a scramble drill by Alec Pierce here, and he's going to give his QB a target. So he runs this route well. He puts up his hand as if he's going for a fade route, and then Valentine takes his eyes off the receiver. Pierce is just going to stand there, gets 5 yards of space, easy completion, easy first down for the Colts. Just going to be doing a few more plays, not going to go into too much detail, but this is, again, the dangers of a scrambling QB. Got Richardson, 4th down and 10, reaching out, getting the first down. I do like this look. Packers bring pressure from this left side. All right, so you're going to have pressure coming out. And this is essentially a fake from Kenny Clark. He's going to take 1 step, and then he's going to drop back and be a spy. And I think if he doesn't stumble, it's actually going to be a turnover on downs. But he's going to stumble, and he's not going to be able to cut off the edge. Right? He doesn't have the speed. I think if it's a linebacker, we also stop them. Rushes, stumbles, has to get back to his drop. And then he's got to take an aggressive angle to get to him. Pushes him out. But he's able to reach and get that first down. So I think he's upset with himself here at the end. All right, you can see him slamming the turf. If he doesn't stumble, I think he makes that play. And they don't end up scoring a touchdown on the next play. Next play was just kind of a good job by the Colts getting quick out of the huddle. You're going to see this here. They get out of the huddle. They get lined up. They don't allow any time for adjustments. Ball is snapped. And again, you have this vision zone. Nixon just gets beat over the top. So we'll see it again from this angle. Boom, snap, out. Everyone's set up. Everyone's scrambling on the Packers defense. Sets up. rolls out, wide open receiver in the back corner. Easy touchdown for the Colts. Last defensive play. This is just, again, Quay Walker not having a good time. So we'll circle Mr. Quay Walker here in the middle of the field. Everyone saw this. It was blatant. Should have ended the game. It's in his hands. It's got to be the end of the game at that moment. Slips through his hands, bounces up in the air. He's upset with himself. I think the entirety of Lambeau was upset with him as well. But this is just the easiest interception. It is thrown directly to you, in your hands, in your face mask. Should have been an easy pick. Bullard there picking him up. Right? Obviously, you know, there's still some game to play, so you can't sit around and mope. But that is something that should be an easy pick and should have ended the game a little bit earlier. And the last thing that I want to draw attention to, it was Daniel Whelan. Just had an incredible game back there as a punter. Right? He was the reason why the Colts had to drive long fields. Here we're going to see his best punt of the day. He is kicking that ball basically from the 14-yard line. And we're going to see where that ends up. And it doesn't even look like he extended at all. So he kicks it from his own 14 all the way down to the 16 in the air. And it doesn't look like he gets full extension here. And just an incredible field flip there. So it makes the defense's job significantly easier if you've got a punter that can pin them back in the 20 or inside the 20 consistently. And he was able to do that this game. Combined with the time of possession that the Packers had, they had 40 minutes in time of possession, had the ball for 2/3 of the game. It's very hard to win in the NFL if you don't possess the ball. So that'll do it for today's breakdown. I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. That way I can continue to make some content regarding the Packers breakdowns. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.